Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my Hot Topic series. We're doing a new hot topic today, personality. We're going to be talking about what personality is, we're looking at a scientific study, and I've got an article for us to read, maybe more than one, where we'll talk about what these studies imply, how accurate they are, how they can be used or misused. We'll talk all about this in just a minute. First, a little bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out from Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate in my class. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up, which means when you're not speaking, turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. When you are speaking, tune in to the new words that you learn, use them as actively as you can, and finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that's a little bit about me. Whoop, let me get this camera away from the light so that you can see me. I had a little trouble with my material, so I'm going to give you the link right now. I posted it, but you might not have seen it. So I'm going to give you the link right now here in the window. There you go. And I'm going to try to download that as well so that I can share my screen with you. I'm going to do that right now. But what we're going to do is start with a little personality test of our own, because that's the topic. So when I get this downloaded, I'm going to show you a picture. Give me just a second to open this. When I get this downloaded, I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm going to ask you to choose. Here we go. Let me see if I can open this on my computer first. Let's see if I can get this open. Before I talk about it, it's better that you look at the picture. 1 second. There we go. Okay. So let me share my screen. And I'm going to ask you to choose one of the animals in the picture. And then we'll do a little introduction. So first of all, before I do anything else, let me close that. Let me just say hello to people that I don't know. I think I know all of you. So we got Yuki, hello. And Jason, hello again. Giuseppe, nice to have you back. Luo. And Sergi, you were here before, right? You're from Spain, aren't you?
Yes, I'm from Spain, yes.
Okay.
Catalonia,
That's
yes.
right. Okay. I remember you. Okay. All right. And it's Serge, isn't it? Because I was calling you Sergey last time.
Sergi.
Sergi, right. Okay. So look, you can open the link that I just posted for you, or you can just look on the screen, and I'll try to put this up for you as well. Before we do anything, before we talk about the science of personality, what I'd like you to do is choose an animal. Which one of these animals do you think best represents you? Or do you think that you are not on this page? If you had to choose one, which one would you be and why? Just out of curiosity. Does anyone have an animal that comes to mind quickly? Oh, let me get this back on the screen. Giuseppe, which one would you be?
I would like to be a bear.
You'd be the bear. Is it the bear because of his sweater, or because you'd like to be a bear? Because I like his sweater, personally. I like the bear with the skulls on his sweater.
Both. I like both.
That's interesting. I would be the sloth. I'd be the guy in the bottom left corner. But
Is that a real class or a funny class?
I don't know why. I have no idea why I would choose that. But I have to be the guy in the bottom left. I don't know why. I just have to. I like his expression. Okay. Do you have a rational reason for being the bear? because I don't know why I'm the sloth. What is it about your personality that you think matches with the bear?
Because sometimes I'm impulsive, I'm instinctive. Um, because of that, yes.
Instinctive and what was forceful?
First, instinctive, like because sometimes I don't rationalize for some reason.
See, I can't figure out exactly why I would be the sloth, but I think it's because he's dressed like the 1980s Miami Vice TV show. I think that's the reason why I would pick the sloth. I'm not really sure. Hang on just a second here. Let's see if we can pick another one here. Jason, which animal would you be out of those four? By the way, I'm sorry I've only got 4 choices, but you've got to pick one. Next time I'll try to come up with more. Jason, which would you be?
It's a difficult choice for me, but I would be the animals on the left on the top of the corner.
Ah, what is that?
It's a raccoon? No.
I thought it was a raccoon.
Yeah, because he's
On the top left.
yeah,
I
on the
think it's
top
a raccoon.
because he's a cutest animal among those 4 pictures.
And so that means that you're the cutest animal in the classroom then. You see yourself as a cute animal. Okay. And he's got a cool scarf. It kind of reminds me of the 1970s Doctor Who episodes where the guy always had the big scarf. I thought you were going to say raccoons are very clever.
Ah, yes.
That too. And Luo, what would you be?
Not in this picture.
No? Okay.
The third one is more. I don't know the animal.
The
bottom left.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a sloth.
Sloth.
The sloth.
Oh,
They're the ones
what?
that hang on trees. They move very slowly. They don't really do much. They just hang on trees, and they're so slow, and they're so what's the word? Their metabolism too. Everything is so slow that all they do is basically that moss can grow on their arms and legs because they just hang there like plants. Sloths. He's just a
Okay.
cool-looking guy. So if your animal's not on the picture, not pictured here, what animal would you add to the picture? Who would you be?
I would be a horse because I'm born in a Chinese zodiac horse year.
Ah,
So it's a fundamental reason why I choose horse to represent myself.
and what are the horse-like qualities? If you're born in the year of a horse, what is that? How are you supposed to be?
A horse eager to go to the wild places, and so I like to go to wild places, and I like maverick people like my avatar, James Dean, you know. Yes, and the horse, keep running, and sometimes I really like to have some fun and don't want to stop.
Wow, you're way ahead of us on this animal thing. You're much more advanced than the rest of us. What do you know? What was the animal? What's the animal in for 1973? I can't remember if I'm a monkey or if I'm something else. Do you know offhand?
I don't know, but I can search the secret result from the internet for you.
I think I'm a monkey, if I remember right, because I used to have a little necklace with a pendant that had the Chinese symbol for the year that I was born. I think it was monkey. Anyway, it's January 1973. If you can look it up, let me know. I want to know. I'm either a monkey or yeah.
Okay.
Because then
let me see.
I can't be the sloth. I've got to be something else. You
No,
look
no,
it
no.
up.
It's cattle. It's cattle. I have the result.
Cattle? No.
Yes. Bull or cattle or, you know.
No. I'm not the bull. I'm nothing like a bull.
Oh well.
Oh, you mean well? Actually, in English, we probably would say an ox. I think we call it
Ox.
ox. Right, right,
Ox.
right. Is that
Okay.
for But is that for January '73? For the beginning of the
Yes.
year? Yeah? Really?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes. Mhm.
I never knew I was an ox. I can't imagine. Wow. Well, listen, we've got two more people here. So before we move on, let's find out about Yuki and Asama. So Yuki, are you pictured
Yes.
on this page, or would you choose an animal different than what you see?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, no. Hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. If I were animal, I would be a mole.
A mole.
Yes, because I prefer to stay at home than go out. I'm kind of a homebody.
Right, right. Are you
Um,
shy? Aren't
yes,
moles kind
I'm
of
shy.
afraid of?
I'm worried. I'm afraid of communicating with people.
Wow, you sure
Yes,
fooled us.
I don't like speak out.
Wow.
to tell the truth. So it it is a big challenge for me to join the classes every time. Every
Wow.
time before the class, I am very
So basically you're a sadomasochist.
yes,
I've seen you in many classes, so it's hard to believe.
massacre. Yeah.
So, a sadomasochist, you just like torturing yourself.
Yes,
Wow.
I torture myself every time.
Wow.
I'm sadist. So
There you go. Okay, so we've got to add two more animals here. We've got to we've got to add three more animals. We've got to add the ox, the mole, and the horse. We've got to add some more. Next time I'll add more. And Osama, do you think you're one of these four animals, or do we need to add another animal? If you had to match your personality.
I think that I have to add another animal.
Really?
I know it's funny. It's my preferred animal is lion. I don't know why.
The lion. Wow,
Yeah, the
okay.
lion.
So
And
does that have
because
something to do with being courageous?
Excuse me?
So does that mean you're courageous?
No, it's like
That you
I like a lot the power how we say, because you know the lion is so powerful. He's the king of the jungle, and it's like he controls everything, or he controls everything. I don't know. It's like I like these things, you know.
you're powerful, Osama.
Not powerful, but I like, you know, the power, and yeah, being in a powerful position, of course, yeah. I like that a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about all of this because we're going to look at how scientific personality tests are, how they can be used and misused, and how valid they are, how scientific they are, how valid they are, and where personality comes from. So we've got several topics to talk about here. So I asked what kind of animal you are. I think it might be a good idea to take a personality test. The one I wanted to give you has disappeared from the internet. It was a really good one. I can't find it. Or maybe it's just down today. So I put in one from the BBC. So maybe we ought to go to that a little bit later because we should take a look at the article first. So maybe we'll get back to it. But I can show you what it is. Let me just see if I can open this quickly. I think what I'll do is just show it to you because it's a bit short. Hang on just a second here. Let's see. This one's a bit different. Let me see how long. No, it's a little bit long. It's a little bit long. I think we'll come back to this a little bit later because I think we don't. It's going to take a little bit too long. Maybe in between the classes we can try it. Let's move forward here.
Before in
What I'm
Hina's
going to
class,
do is
before in Hina's class, I take a
Say again?
before in Hina's class, do you know Hina?
Right.
I took a same kind of test, and
Yeah.
it turned out for me I was more. So, yes.
Ah, that's it.
I did it. Yes.
Yeah, I had a really good
In another
personality
class.
test, but I couldn't. For
Not
some reason,
not the
the
same
website
class,
was down today.
not the same class, but not the same test, but I think it's a similar test. It's,
Well, this one, I'm trying. The only one I could find that wasn't too strange. I'm looking at it and it's really long. So maybe what we'll do is in between classes, I'll ask you to take the test because it looks like it's going to take about 10 minutes long.
to be very
10
fun.
minutes to do. It's too much to do in class. But we'll do it in between the hours, maybe. We'll do it like that. Let's take a look at personality itself. So, two questions for the group to think about before we read. What is the definition of personality, and how have scientists studied its attributes in animals? Oh, wait, that's actually something for the article. What can we learn about ourselves by studying the science behind personality? That one we can ask as a group. Let me start by asking, what do you think personality is? And what do you think we can learn by studying it? What do you think personality is? I remember a friend of mine who was a Jesuit, so he had to learn Latin, and I think he was learning ancient Greek as well. He told me the etymological root, the etymology of personality, which comes from maybe our. Is anyone into classics? Do you know the root of the word personality?
Personality is
Before I say it wrong.
someone's character.
No?
No. Personality is a character.
But do you know the history of the word itself?
History. It's from person. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's from. Well, I wanted to say that it was from. It's from theater, from the Greek theater. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember him saying, because I don't remember the word. I don't remember the original Latin in Greek origin. Maybe some of you do. I can look it up. But the idea is that it's the name of the mask, used in theater. So the idea that he was explaining to me, my friend who was into classics, is that the idea is that the mask is the representation of who you are or who you want to be to others. But you yourself are behind the mask. And this concept makes sense if you think about words like impersonate, right, to be someone else. I'll see if I can look up, I don't have the link here in front of me. I'll see if I can look it up. But I'm just curious, Yuki, I'm sorry, you were saying, look, maybe we should start with what we think personality actually is before we read the article. So what were you going to say? What is personality if we had to define it?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
I think we have a delay. I'll open it up to the class. Maybe Yuki didn't hear me. I'll open it up. Yeah, let's start with the definition. What is personality? What do we think it is?
Personality is the criteria of according to the criteria you can conduct. You behave according to the personality, according to the character. So someone has a strong personality. Someone is a weak personality. So there are many kind of personalities. No.
Okay, well, that's a good point. What is a strong or weak? What do we mean by strong or weak personality? That's a good point. because we often have judgments about personality, but until we know what it is, we can't say whether it's strong or weak. What do you mean by strong or weak? Actually, Jason, sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I think when you have a strong personality is when you express how feeling straight away without take another way. And when we are, yes, when we can express our point of view, and everybody can listen, and it's
So you
that,
think it has something to do with being extroverted?
yes,
Extroverted, right?
he has extroverted and outgoing, and but you can have a weak personality by being shy, but you can have a strong personality by being shy, but but the most common definition for strong personality is when you are outgoing or eccentric. Is that? Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Sounds good. Let's go with that. So we've got introverted, extroverted. Extroverted can be outgoing, eccentric. And what do we think determines our personality? Giuseppe, what do you think determines personality? Whether you're outgoing or introverted, eccentric or, I don't know if the word meek is a good word because it sounds judgmental. Well, so does eccentric. But outgoing and introverted. What do you think determines these things? Do you think it's genes?
Yeah, I
Genes.
think it's genes and inherited from your parents.
So it's got nothing to do with the Chinese zodiac.
Maybe something included related to Chinese zodiac, because you know the name could affect you in the future. The name, even the zodiac year name, as well as your name. I mean, your English name or Chinese name, could affect you because they have some meaning. A certain meaning could affect your behavior. You know.
But is that like a self-fulfilling prophecy? So if you're given a name and you know that name, you somehow begin to act the way that that name. So for example, my name is Jon-Eric. John, first part of my name. I know that the name John is a biblical name, Yonachin, which means gift from God. But I didn't know that when I was a kid. But do you think? But if I did, would I begin to be more spoiled and think that I'm special? I mean, is it a self-fulfilling prophecy that you sort of live up to the expectation that's set up for you? Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what I mean. And I think your name is too abstractive. If you have some certain meaning, like something more, reality, so you could have more affected by your name. Maybe someone name is strong or robot or something. So maybe they will behave like a very strong man.
Interesting. So it's a psychological thing. That's what you mean, Wow. It's psychological.
I think
Psychology.
I think the name affects on personality for some extent, but I think more. I think I think inheritance and 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 circumstances where we bring up we yeah,
In which we're brought up. In which we're brought up.
in which we are brought up have a big influence on our on creating on our personality, on our character.
So environment has got to play a big part, in other words.
Yes.
Okay. But by the way, Giuseppe, I think we cut you off. I was going to say, to what extent do you think it's nature? In other words, what you're born with, and to what extent do you think it's maybe nurture, or it's always the difference between the social environment and your genes. What do you think is the more dominant influence in personality, Giuseppe?
In general, or my
Yeah, no, your opinion.
well, as they bespoke before, depends on the context where you brought up, and as well as depends on the people you frequent, you socialize with. I guess some people get influenced, and then act acted as the others are usually I used to behave. For example, in the school, there is the phenomenon of bully phenomenon.
Right. It's a very popular thing nowadays to talk
Nowadays,
about bullying. When I was going to school, you just got bullied and that was it. But there's been a few spectacular media issues, and bullying is now, it just amazes me that it's now an international issue. It's now an international, anyway. But sorry, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I was if you think about bullying, a bully person is a person which that has needed to show up and appears like a cool man,
We say too cool for school.
Too cool for school.
Just like Jimmy Dean, too cool for school.
Too
Rebel,
cool for school.
rebel without a cause.
Yeah, I think that person has a problem, has many problems idled, and that's why he acted up in this way.
Okay, that's a really good point. So, being extroverted, particularly aggressive, that kind of extroverted, seems to be covering up some problem, right? I mean, I guess
Right.
most people would agree with that. But I wonder if that's what the science says, because actually that's a part of the article we're going to take a look at. Maybe we should jump to the article because that's a good lead-in to this one, the first one. I've got a bunch of things there we could read, but we're going to start with the first one because it's kind of an overview. And maybe what we can do here, it's not that long, but the beginning of this is a little difficult, so you have to stop me and just, if there's any questions about vocabulary, just ask, especially in the first 3 paragraphs or so. So, Asama, what do you think? Would you like to start us off? Maybe you could read. I think we should just read the article first, although the main points are really a little bit later in the article, but I think we should just read the whole thing. Want to pick it up in the beginning? These first, go for it.
Okay, just a second. So of the words, I start with that?
Yes, please.
Okay, of the words, 43,000 known varieties of spiders, and overwhelming majority are peevish loners, spinning webs, slinging lassos, liquefying prey. Oh my god, this is freaking hard to spell. Okay,
You're doing fine.
liquefying prey and attacking trespassers, each spider and to its own. With about 25 arachnid.
Arachnid is the scientific name for spiders. Arachnid.
Okay, arachnid species have swept the hermit's hair shirt
Shirt?
for a more sociable and cooperative strategy in which dozens or hundreds of spiders pool their powers to exploit resources that would elude a solo player. And believe it or not,
Keep
oh,
going.
oh,
Yeah. This is kind of a joke. O ye of rolled up newspaper. That's Old English. That means O is like hey, calling someone. Ye means you. Like hear ye, hear ye. In other words, everyone listen. So it's supposed to be kind of a joke. O ye, in other words, hey you, of rolled up newspapers. Because if you see a spider, the first thing you do is roll up a newspaper and swat it, right? So it doesn't bite you.
Okay. Oh, you rolled up newspaper about to dispatch the poor little Charlotte dangling from your curtain rod.
Curtain rod.
Curtain rod for no better reason that your purported primal fear. These oddball spiders
Socialite.
socialites may offer fresh insight into an array of human mysteries, where our personalities come from, why some people can't open their mouths at a party while others can't keep their shit, and why, no matter our age, we can't seem to leave high school behind.
Right. So ask me questions. There's a lot of vocabulary here.
Oh my
Is there
god.
anything? Do you understand the general idea of this introduction? The general idea.
To be honest, it's quite difficult, to focus on the pronunciation and, the meaning of, I don't know, it's like, it sounds for me, it's like quite difficult, I don't know. Quite
Yeah,
difficult
but
words.
let's get to the gist. Let's not worry about the details. What's the gist? What's the general idea here? What do you think, Asama? So far, what's the general idea?
I don't know, it's like, it's talk about spiders and actually, when I read some texts, I can't focus a lot on the meaning. I don't know why.
Okay, let's take a look at some keywords here.
Okay.
Spiders are loners. What is a loner?
Loner means people, a person, here spider, who avoid the company.
Someone who likes to be alone.
Like to stay alone.
Alone, right. So a loner is back to our James Dean figure. Someone who doesn't need anyone else. Someone who likes to be alone. Someone who's independent. Okay? So first of all, we think of spiders as loners. But, Asama, you see the but. So that means there's going to be a contrast between what we think and reality. So in reality, we have some spiders that are they all loners? All of them?
Some species, some spiders have a more sociable life and cooperative strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So specifically this line here, they learn to pool their powers. Yuki, what does that mean, to pool something? Like in a carpool, what does everyone do in a carpool, for example?
Pool means common. How to say? Join something.
Right. So, for example, most people know the word carpool. What do we do in a carpool? As an example.
Carpool means place where you can leave your car.
Wait, carpool? Carpool? No, not exactly. Car park, yes, but carpool is when everyone shares a car. Yeah, that's it. They share a ride. So they all save money. They all save gasoline because they're sharing resources. They rotate the car so everyone, you know, if you got 4 people, 4 different cars in 4 different weeks are being used, and everyone can save money that way. They share a car. So here, the spiders are pooling their powers together. So this is not what we would normally think of. Instead of them being loners, in fact, there's these social spiders. There's 25 species. So that's a lot of spiders, actually. And then finally, Osama was reading this in the 3rd paragraph that these oddball socialites may offer fresh insights into an array of human mysteries where our personalities come from. So oddball means that they're different than the normal species. Socialites means that they are social together. We don't think of them that way. And insight means we're going to learn something new. We're going to learn something new about where our personalities come from. So as I said, the introduction is a little bit tricky, but if we focus on particularly the connector words like but here, we can immediately see that we're being shown one thing and contrasting it with something else. We're being shown our normal idea, but we're contrasting it with something in reality that is not commonly known. So we think of them as loners, but in reality, some species, in fact, work together, and that gives us a new insight about ourselves, actually. Well, Yuki, why don't you continue? Let's pick it up down here, and we'll just go around the room, and then we'll talk about it. But if there's any questions, stop me at any time. We'll talk about vocabulary or anything like that. Go ahead, Yuki.
It's very satisfying to me that the most maligned.
Yeah, that's when you say something bad about someone.
Malice, yeah?
Yeah,
That's
like malice. So you're speaking badly of, you're maligning them.
And the most maligned of organism may have something to tell us about who we are, said Jonathan N. Pruitt, a biologist at the University of Pittsburgh who studies social spiders. The new work on social spiders is part of the expanding field of animal personality research, which seeks to delineate.
Wait. It seeks to delineate.
Which seeks to delineate, quantify, and understand the many stylistic differences that have been identified in vast array of species, including monkeys, minks, bighorn sheep, clamping squid.
I don't know what these are. Dumpling squids. Okay, so some kind of sheep, some kind of monkeys, some kind of birds. That's the main point.
Squid, sorry. Dumpling squid, zebra finches, and spotted hyenas. Animals have been shown to differ, sometimes hugely, on traits like shyness, boldness, aggressiveness, and neophobia, or fear of the new. Among the big questions in the field are where those differences come from and why they exist.
Okay, very good. So, are we following this so far? Is everything clear? If there's any questions, just stop and ask. Are we cool? I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, probably this paragraph talk about the characteristics of the animals, which are similar to the characteristics of persons, right?
And of people.
Of people, yeah, people.
And also that this last part, animals have been shown to differ on traits like shyness and boldness. So we characterize them according to these psychological traits. The only question here I have is, well, anyway, the research tries to delineate. That means tries to categorize. Delineate is to put lines between, to put lines into, to create to figure out the structure of something, to delineate. Another way to say that would be to clarify. Seeks to clarify and quantify and understand many stylistic differences between the arrays of species. Okay, so we know that they differ on different traits like shyness, boldness, fear of the new, etc. Let's find out the surprising things. Why don't we go there? So Luo, why don't you pick it up in the next paragraph here, and we'll continue to the next page as well.
Yes, reporting recently in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B, Dr. Pruitt and Kate L. Laskowski
Yeah, that's right.
of the Leibniz Institute of the Freshwater Ecology and Inland Fisheries in Berlin have determined that character building in social spiders is a common affair.
It's a
While-
communal affair.
Communal affair. While they quickly display the first glimmerings of the best predisposition, a relative tendency, because the font is too small.
Yes, it's hard to make a little. I'll try to make it bigger, but it's hard to get it into the screen if I make it too big.
Okay, a relative tendency. No problem. I'm just opened my browser, opened it in, but still a little bit small. So, a relative tendency toward shyness or boldness, techiness, or docility. That personality is then powerfully influenced by the other spiders in the group. Should I continue?
Yeah, let me just change the page. Yeah, keep going.
In laboratory experiments, the researchers showed that spiders exposed to the same group day after day developed stronger and more distinctive personalities than those that were shifted from one set of spiders to the next. Moreover, the spiders in a stable social setting grow ever less like one another over time.
Well, there is our significant fact here. This is the point where we get to see that things are not the way we expect. I think this is where we see things are not quite the way we'd expect. So, Luo, we're almost out of time for this hour, but let's summarize that part because there's some tricky vocabulary. So far, what do we know? What do experiments show us about these unexpected species, the ones that act differently than normal spiders? Do they develop? Do we get the sense that they develop personalities of their own?
Sorry, no, I have no idea because there are lots of new vocabularies and made me use a lot of my brain power to think of them. So
well, you can also ask me about some of the vocabulary words because a lot of them are they're kind of unnecessary. They're just sort of fancy ways to say simple things. So look, if you go on the previous page, to be docile, docility, is a way to say, the opposite of extrovert. So docile. So maybe meek. So you got bold.
No?
Say again? Yeah, okay, could be, yeah, because it has the origin of the word sort of like sweet. Boldness, so I think there we know, extroverted. Also, the key words here I think are character building, so that's like personality, individual personality, creating an individual personality by these social spiders is communal. It's not something that happens to them alone. It happens in the community. And what we learn on the next page is that here, this last sentence here, spiders in a stable social setting. So if they are in a community that does not change, does not get disrupted, and stays that way over time, they become more individualistic over time. They start to exhibit their own character. In other words, they seem to develop a personality. They seem to act differently than one another. So I think that's the main takeaway point here. Is that part clear so far?
Yes,
Everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, well?
it's clear for me.
Yes, I'm just checking my dictionary. Yeah.
Okay, if there's anything particular, just ask. If there's any, let's do this. We have to. I have to start the next
So
hour.
more, more chance. More often you communicate with others. More you get into the social life. Your personality would be heightened. Would be
heightened. Yes.
Yes.
That seems to be
You
the
are
implication.
you to be
Even
more
if you're a spider.
person. You are be more individual. More you are more how to say.
More of an individual.
Specific. Yeah.
Specified.
Specified.
Well,
That kind of thing. Yeah, it's written here.
Yes, I think you are right. Yes, I have heard a theory. It said if your personality is a combination of your 5 closest friends' personality. So I think you're right.
I have no friends.
I don't think so.
I'm in trouble. Okay, listen, I have to start the second hour of the class. So here's what we're going to do. At the beginning of the next class, we're going to finish reading. I've got a personality test for you to take. So we're going to decide how accurate these tests are. And we're going to talk about maybe the implications of this kind of testing, whether we think it's accurate or not, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And of course, we're going to talk about any of the vocabulary here, particularly the words which I'm going to let you know are the more important ones. A lot of this is just style, so it doesn't really matter. The gist is more important. But I'll try to point out which vocabulary words are particularly useful for you to use. Okay? So I'll be back in just a moment to start the second hour of the class, and we'll pick up. This article is quite short, so we'll just finish reading the next page and a half, and then we'll talk about it. Okay? I'll be right back in just a minute. So see you in the next part of the class, next hour. Okay? Bye for now.
Okay, bye.
See you soon.
Okay. See you soon.
You.